been a lifelong wrestling fan, seeing Owen Hart wrestle, Bret Hart being your first exposure to wrestling. When was it that you knew in your life that you wanted to become a professional wrestler? Was there a
Well, it would
specific
have definitely been, no, it would have definitely been sometime early in high school. I knew I was going to give this a shot, and I knew I'd be pretty damn good at it. It was right when I had graduated. We were having a party, and it was brought to my attention that one of my best friends, his younger brother, had been training at Jacques Rougeau's wrestling school for about a year, maybe a year and a half at that point. And he said Jacques was taking a new set of students, asked me if I'd be interested. I said, yeah, sure, but just tell me when and I'm there. And he's like, well, if you want, you can come tomorrow. So this was on a Friday, and the class was happening on a Saturday. So I was just like, okay, I'm there. Went out that night, bought a pair of elbow pads, knee pads, and bought a pair of wrestling shoes, but not like boots. They were amateur wrestling shoes, A6 amateur wrestling shoes, red. I still have them. They're probably going to be in a Hall of Fame someday as my first set of wrestling shoes. But showed up, and I said, okay, I got to study up on this. So I spent the whole night. I don't even think I slept. I studied everything about wrestling, any information that I could find online. I remember stuff from Tough Enough, hold your breath when you take a bump, all these kinds of things. So I'm like, I'm going to go in there ready, and I'm going to impress them, because I thought, like, this is my shot. Like, if I don't impress them at the school, they're not going to take me. And so I showed up the next day, and I was pretty much, in their words, I was a natural. Whether I am or not, I don't know. But I do think that when you have the right combination of talent and hard work, then that's always going to open doors for you. And I don't think there's anyone willing to work as hard as I am. And the talent, well, by the grace of God, I think I was blessed with a decent amount of that too. So the rest, as they say, is history. Got to learn from Jacques Rougeau, meet a lot of great people. And the ironic thing in that is that recently I've reconnected with Jacques. And he's been working on this amazing project called Wrestling Academy, or Lutte Academy, as we call it here in Quebec. And it's basically something that has been something I've been passionate about and outspoken about for the past couple of years, in saying how Canadians don't get the same opportunities as wrestlers from the United States, or even wrestlers from the UK. These are scenes that have a lot of exposure and great talent. I think we have great, exceptional talent here in Canada, but we unfortunately don't get the same kind of exposure. So this is a project designed to help Canadian wrestlers get exposure and get an opportunity to be seen by the biggest wrestling school in the world, the Nightmare Factory, and potentially be able to showcase their skills on a big stage, make a living doing this, get the exposure that we've been robbed of for so long. And Jacques' the one spearheading this movement. That's why I've thrown my support behind it. I'm in it, and I'm in it to win it. And that, as I like to say, that's the truth.
It's funny you mention this, and it's the first time I've ever done this on the show. I have a surprise guest. Someone actually wants to talk to you about this Wrestling Academy. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm going to bring him in, and it's going to shock some of the viewers, and it's even shocked myself that I've been able to pull this off. But I'm going to let him in now, and I think he's got a few things he wants to say to you.
Oh,
hello. How's it going? How is it going? Look what I've been able to pull off, by the way. I don't know how I did it, but even I'm marking out. But this is specifically for you, Jeremy, and to discuss Wrestling Academy.
Hello, guys. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Jacques.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Even better now that you're here.
Thank you so much. How are you doing, George? It's been a while since we've seen each other.
I know. I've got the smile on my face. The fact that I've been able to pull this off and to have you appear on the show, it's just mind-blowing. But I've been great. I hope you've been doing well. For anyone that has listened to this podcast before, knows me as a person, knows that I am a huge, huge Manny fan. Thank you.
It was really nice meeting you when I did meet you at the convention in London, I believe.
That was it. Thank you. You remember it as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. You're a very nice, you're a very good character. You should be in wrestling.
Mate, I ain't got the stamina for that, mate. I'll leave that to Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Wow. Jacques, wasn't expecting this.
Hey, I'm so happy. Jeremy, you look, listen, that's what I put long sleeves on, because I know you're gonna. I can't believe that. Look at those arms, Jesus. Jeremy. Now I understand why your name is Jeremy Prophet, because long time ago when you came to my wrestling school, you had a prophecy. You had something. You had an idea of what was coming for you. And you know what? I'm so pleased, Jeremy, that you have joined. You were one of the first guys who helped me on Wrestling Academy, put this together, helped me every kind of way possible. You're such a great guy, and I'm glad to be here for you, Jeremy.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, this is a pleasant surprise, and Jacques, you're doing such a great thing for Canada. I don't just say that as one of your former students, but as a wrestler who's lived through the struggles that we go through here, doing show after show, doing tours, doing all these things from Vancouver to St. John's, all throughout the country, and seeing people in the United States getting those opportunities ahead of us. You're one of the only ones that's taken your position, your legendary status, and said, I'm not just going to use this for me. I'm going to use this to help out other guys so that their path can be a little easier than what I had to go through to make it to the big leagues. And I think that that's why I've gotten behind this, and I'm going to aggressively fight for this, because I believe in it, and I believe every one of those talents in the Academy deserves that opportunity.
Well, you know what, Jeremy, I thank you very much, but there comes a time in the life where you got to pass the flambeau there, the torch, you got to pass the torch. And, to be honest with you, Jeremy, when you accepted, you made me so happy, because you are in Canada. When I talk to everybody, and since I left me from my wrestling school, I haven't seen you, we lost contact. And then when I start talking about you again, and everybody's saying the same thing, Jeremy Prophet's going to win this thing. He is one of the top contenders in Canada, one of the best wrestlers in Canada. And so now I'm so enthusiastic, because I was starting with the best, and then we put some others in there. But like you say, it's the first of a kind. It's taking, because every province has their own territories. And now to take the best of every territory and bring them together for a competition like this. And if the people don't know out there, it's a great competition. It's going to be an elimination competition where we start with 40 contestants. There'll be 30 males and 10 women. And we're going to eliminate 4 every week. And there'll be a panel of judges by the ring, which will be 3 judges that are going to judge not by who wins or who loses. That's not important in the match. And I made that clear to everybody. They're going to be judged by their charisma, by their talent, by their savoir-faire in the ring, and how they maneuver in the ring. And all these 3 judges are going to vote, but they're only going to vote for 40% of the votes. And then 60% of the votes, it's going to be fans and people and Georges. They're going to text from everywhere around the world, and they're going to say, we want to keep Jeremy Prophet in there. And so it's going to be a great, great contest. And what's marvelous of all this is on the last week, we have QT Marshall from the Nightmare Factory, who's going to be a judge live with us. So he's going to see the last 8 contestants together, and the last 4 are going to have a chance to go at the wrestling school for an evaluation. But here's the deal, Jeremy, and this is only yesterday, because QT Marshall and my deal I made with them, that he was going to take my 4 talents. I was going to go down to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Nightmare Factory and spend 1 day so they could look at you in the ring. You could do an interview. So you had to be right there on the money. But now, because of QT Marshall's hearing about me, because I'm doing podcasts in Australia, I'm doing them all around the world, and I keep mentioning him. And now he's starting to get calls from everybody. So he called me yesterday morning and he said, Jacques, what are you doing? He says, I'm hearing about the Nightmare Factory around the world now. So he said, listen, Jacques, you're doing such a great job in marketing, and you're doing such a great job for the Canadian talent. It's so nice what you're putting together. I'm going to give you a week instead of 1 day. So you're going to bring your 4 people down, and not only they'll have a 1 chance, like you never have a second chance to make a first impression. Well, in this case, it's not going to be like that. You're going to have 7 days to make a first impression. And that makes the whole difference in the world, because when you're there, you can be so nervous, the first time, and more comfortable the second day, and the third, it's better. And plus that, which I imagine, when I'm going to be there with you guys, I'm sure I'll be there with you, Jeremy, if you make it, but I'm sure you will be. And we're going to be there in the gym. We're going to be there in the arena. And then who knows who's going to pop in? Maybe the superstars are going to come because a lot of people, a lot of the talent of today in the big leagues are training there too. So they'll get a chance to talk to you guys and see you guys. It's just an amazing thing that happened. I appreciate, as a matter of fact, just to give me a little bit of credibility, can we see the QT Marshall interview? I'd love to show you this. George, can you put that together?
I can get this arranged, and I'm going to do it now. Here we go. Here's the footage.
Hello, wrestlers across Canada. This is QT Marshall with AEW, and I am also the co-owner of the Nightmare Factory. And I just wanted to wish each and every single one of you good luck in the Wrestling Academy 2022. I'll be paying very close attention, following your journey, and I also look forward to being a guest judge. Good luck with everything. Jacques Rougeau is a great mind to be around. I can't wait for this. It's very exciting, and like I said, I will be following your journey and hope to see each and every one of you soon.
That was awesome.
Wow. Isn't that it? Now, isn't that something? I mean, then, so anybody who doubts of this is not the Lucy in the Wonderland, or it's not the Wizard of Oz. This is the true thing here. 4 Canadian talents will be received, and I like the enthusiasm he has about it. You see, I'm going to follow this journey, and plus he says that I'm smart. I love that part. But anyway, I gotta tell you, Jeremy, this is awesome. And you know, Jeremy, there's so many people involved, like old timers, like Coco Beware, $1 Million Man, Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon, Tito Santana, Lanny Poffo. It goes on and on. You can go see the website, ladies and gentlemen. Go on wrestling-academy.ca and go see what's happening. And one message that really touched me, they all touched me, but one in particular, you talk about the best wrestler that ever came out of Canada, an iconic Bret the Hitman Hart. George, can you try and get that interview of Bret just for inspiration for Jeremy?
This clip is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I love it.
There you go, man.
Hey, this is Bret the Hitman Hart, and I want to wish all the best to Jacques Rougeau and his Wrestling Academy 2022. I know they got a big event coming up, a big contest, and a great opportunity for wrestlers across Canada, men and women, to train and maybe win $5,000 and ultimately get a chance to train with QT Marshall and the Nightmare Factory and maybe get a chance to maybe wrestle for AEW. But all I know is this is a great opportunity for every young wrestler, and I want to just thank Jacques Rougeau for putting the idea together. I hope it works out really well, and may the best wrestlers win.
What can we say more than that?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a Canadian wrestler, working in all the leagues that, you know what, I got to tell you something. Bret inspires me in saying this. There's 2 reasons why the Canadians sometimes are not able to go into the States. Sometimes in our business, it's not what you could do, it's who you know. And then some other times it's being at the right place at the right time. And now this opportunity that we have together, all of us, is that. It's being at the right place at the right time, because QT Marshall's Wrestling School, all the big leagues around the world are looking at his school to recruit. So that's what I call being at the right place at the right time. And Jeremy Prophet been such an asset to the wrestling business. He's been around, he's had tryouts around, but sometimes it wasn't the right time because he has the talent. He definitely has the talent. I can guarantee you that.
He does. That's why I'm
so
glad to have him on the
Jeremy,
show.
so Jeremy, I don't know if I can't see you there. Are you there, Jeremy?
I'm here. I'm
You're
here.
there,
I'm
Can't
Jeremy?
miss his
I'm
biceps.
soaking it all in.
I just want to tell you, Jeremy, you know, I out of every wrestler that I had a 20-year wrestling school, and he is one of the top class acts, not only in the ring, outside the ring. Just about a couple of months ago, I was initiated as a spokesman for the homeless in Montreal, Quebec. They took me as a spokesman, and I asked Jeremy, because it's around his place. He lives not far from there, and he's a king around his place. So I asked Jeremy, would you come spend the day with the homeless? And we're going to take my big mat, and we're going to do some wrestling moves, and we're going to flip them around a little bit, make them live, make them have a normal life for one day, you know? And Jeremy was right there on the button. He said, yes, sir. And he came with Jessica's beautiful lady that wrestles too. And, you know, it was an awesome day. Devin, Hannibal, Nicholson came from Toronto. And, you know, it's like everybody joined in. And Jeremy, you are an example for a professional wrestler, how to be in and out of the ring. And I congratulate you for that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words very much. And I pride myself on being a professional in all aspects of what I do. Anytime the camera is on, or even anytime I'm around people, I want them to get the sense that I'm not just a person who goes in the ring and does a couple of moves. I want to really connect with those people and give them their money's worth. Even if it's just a free event, I want to make sure they're enjoying themselves. That's a professional wrestler's job, is to give them that experience. And when it comes to the Academy, I plan on doing the same thing. I've worked very hard. I see a lot of people talking about how this competition, it means a lot to them. I think it means a lot to a lot of people, but I don't think it means as much to everybody as it does to me, because this is the opportunity I've been looking for. I've been fine-tuning all my skills, training as though I have the job already, even though I don't have it. So I got to say, I pity the other people in this that have to go against me, because I'm bringing 110%. I'm bringing my A game. And hey, you know, I don't like losing at anything. So I'm very competitive. And I really feel once it's all said and done, I will be one of those winners, whether it's in singles, whether it's in tag team. Can't go for the women's one. I think Jessica will probably take that. But singles or tag team, it doesn't make a difference. I will be one of those winners. I will be at QT school. And I think that this is only the beginning, and this is a wonderful chapter in the story of the Jeremy Prophet, Jacques Rougeau relationship.
Wow. Wow. Hey, listen, Jeremy, those things that you have hanging from your shoulder, are they real?
Of course.
Yeah. Can I get a shot, a bicep shot there? Give me a bicep shot there.
Yeah.
Give me a bicep. Hey, look at this here. For no man there. For no man there.
Yeah.
But you know, Jeremy, I got to tell you,
Embarrass myself.
great.
Right?
And you know what I like about Jeremy? He's natural.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the few guys that has worked for like 20 years to build the body. He didn't take 2 years to build his body. It took 20 years, but he's where he is now. And the funniest thing that I like about Jeremy, and that I like about myself, is like, if I fall sick or Jeremy hurts himself, breaks a bone in the ring or something like that, and he can't work out for 2 months, he's barely going to lose any size because he's normal. So it's going to be easy for him to get back his muscle mass, because it's normal muscle mass. It's natural muscle mass. And that's a quality that people don't have in this business. They don't have the stamina to look 20 years ahead and 15 years ahead and say, I'm going to take the long road, but I'm going to take the sure road. And now you are a perfect athlete. You talk so well, Jeremy, on the microphone. I'm going to tell you what, you are the guy that everybody's got to watch in this competition.
I definitely think so. And I appreciate you putting the emphasis on natural, because that's something I'm very big on, that I've done this the long way, the hard way, but the right way, most importantly. And you're not going to see me like one of those guys on TV that'll look really big and great for maybe a couple of weeks, and then suddenly they'll deflate like a balloon. No, natural, no performance enhancing substances, no steroids, nothing like that. Totally drug-free on my end.
As a matter of fact, I'm wondering, how are they going to fit you in your coffin when you die?
The good news is I plan on going to live forever or die trying. So.
I love it, man. I love it. It's a good thing Jeremy's got sunglasses on after the way you've been speaking about him, by the way.
George, I take my word, it's all deserved. And you know what? It's so much credit to a guy like that. And people don't recognize that. They don't. They think that they look at a guy muscle like Jeremy, they have prejudice about it. They already have ideas made about the guy. Yeah. You know, and I'm a guy that's 61 years old, and I'm still in great shape. You know, I went in the ring the other night at the NEW.
Return the power driver, yeah.
Yeah, and I did the nip up. Did you see the nip up that I did?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I lay on my back in the ring, and I can still do a nip up. I'm 61 years old because I never abused my body.
Yeah.
But nobody knows, and especially when you're 61 years old, George, you have no idea. I spend in the gym 5 days a week, and I still train for about 45 minutes. Less weight, but I still train. I keep my muscles pumped so they're not shrinking so fast. You know, because when you get old, your muscles shrink. Yeah. You know, your muscle mass shrinks. But you look at me in a bathing suit, and sometimes I'm walking the beach, and the girls go, you know, and I'm 61 years old, you know, but that comes with a lot of sacrifices, because a lot of guys, they go through a hard time. How do you say décroche? They
disconnect.
they disconnect. A lot of guys disconnect. They have a nice career, 4 or 5 years, and then they have 3 years where they get out of wrestling, say, stop working out. And you can't do that to have a body like Jeremy and a body like mine at 61 years old. It's a constant thing. It's like getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth. And sometimes there's some days, I'm sure, Jeremy, you'll approve, you just don't frickin' feel like going to the gym. But you know what? You do like me. You get up and you get in. And when you walk in the gym, the pain is less. And when you walk out of the gym, you're so proud of yourself that day you didn't feel like it, you went anyway. And so that's what it is. And people don't connect to that in life. They think, they look at you, oh, he works out. But they don't know that we have off days and we have off seasons, but we still keep thriving and doing what we like because our passion is to make it and to be the best.
Yep. I mean, the way I look at it, we're all human beings. And a lot of people, some may like going to the gym, but I mean, it's not the first thought on our mind. We have our whole life to live, but it's an essential part of being, at the very least, an athlete. And I consider myself, some people say, oh, wrestlers, you're showmen, you're not athletes, you're entertainers. Wrestlers should be athletes. And I treat my body like an athlete. I eat the right things. I go to the gym. Look, we're living in a horrible lockdown right now. We've had gyms have been closed here in Quebec for almost 2 months. 2 months. But that doesn't stop me. I'm still working out at home. I'm still working out every day the same way as if I were going to the gym. It's just a detour in the road, but it's not going to stop me who needs to be a professional, who needs to look like a professional. Because if I get the call tomorrow from QT Marshall or from one of the major companies or from Japan or wherever, and they say, hey, we need you, it's not as though I'm going to be, oh, well, I can't. I gotta get back in shape. No, I stay in shape. I stay ready. I stay tan. I stay lean and ready to fight because I know that call can come at any time. And like with Lutte Academy, the call came and I'm a guy who's ready. I'm ready yesterday.
And you know what? The funny thing about that is, I have a routine myself, Jeremy, I have a certain machines that I do in the gym to pump my chest and to pump my arms and to pump my legs. But you know what? When the pandemic happened and we couldn't do that anymore, instead of doing 200 reps on the bench, I did 200 push-ups on my car or somewhere. And then I did some free squats. No weights, just free squats. I was doing 200 squats a day. And then I was pushing down triceps on natural, just making my own weights with natural things around my place. And that's why I was walking around and the people always saying to me, oh, you got a gym at home, man, which I don't. They would say, you got a gym at home? And I'm saying, no, I just got a lot of volonté. How do you say that? Volonté. How do you say that?
You got a lot of drive.
Yeah, a will to. Yeah. So anyway, listen, guys, the most important thing for me right now is, and it's so important to make this a success because Rome was not built by one person in one day. So it takes a lot of people to build this project. And I have great partners like you, Jeremy. So the most important now, George, you tell everybody to go on wrestling-academy.ca, subscribe, and then follow when we start. We should start approximately in May. And then now that you know that I told you, you could vote for Jeremy Prophet and you could vote for whoever you want to. And you're going to decide out of my thing that we're doing now, who's going to be the winner. And so you could participate, get into this, go see the website. You'll see all the talent. They all have videos. And it's amazing just to go look all the talent that we do have in Canada.
Awesome. Thank you for feeling this for Jeremy, who deserves the praise. What a surprise. We'll be in touch and I've got to get you on for a separate episode, but thank you for your time, Jojo. Honestly, legend to me, a hero, but a mentor to Jeremy. Thank you. George,
you're very welcome. And I've liked you from the first start. I met you in London and I'll be there for you. And if you please promote wrestling-academy.ca, that would be the best gift you could give to me.
When it comes to Jeremy Prophet, there's two things you can expect. Excitement, like you've never seen before, and moments you'll never forget. I am Jeremy Prophet. Spring 2022, Wrestling Academy. I'll see you there.